Oppressive. Storm Team 5 meteorologist Kellyanne Cicalese watching out for storms as well moving through. Kellyanne.
Yes, we have Beryl and the remnants of that storm moving just to our northwest. So all of this tropical humidity you're feeling associated with that, and closer to the track of this storm, we're seeing tornado warnings that have been issued through areas of upstate New York. Closer to home, we have a lower likelihood for severe weather. However, there is the chance for some of these storms to stay strong, producing some downpours and gusty wind as they push toward us. The risk around 10 to 20% in and around Boston, but higher as you move north and west of the city. Feels like 106 degrees in Norwood right now. The heat index nearing 100 in Boston as well, as we're reaching toward the upper 80s, just about 90 in Norwood at this point. In the city, you'll see a mix of some sun trying to break through the clouds today, but overall very hazy appearance to our sky as we achieve this high of just about 90 degrees. But as we move through the afternoon, the chance of storms will be moving in from the northwest. It's a very isolated risk for some of these downpours to move into our area, but it is something we're watching for the afternoon right on through tonight. In fact, we could see more in the way of storm chances tomorrow. I'll walk through that timeline coming up. Erica and Antoinette.
Already, I mean, in the heat.
That is really tough.
Yeah.
So the remnants of Beryl have made their way up here to the northeast, Kellyanne. What's the impact on us?
Well, I have to tell you, a lot of times we hear the word remnants and we think that the storm itself won't be quite as strong, but it's been so many times, even here locally, where it's just the remnants of a tropical system that produces tornadoes in our area. And we are watching for tornadoes today moving into New York, Vermont, and just northwest of our area. Here locally, I do think some of these storms could hold together and be strong in the form of gusty wind and downpours. However, it does appear that the tornado threat is going to stay to our northwest, and good news there. But you can see the track of the remnants of Beryl continue to stay just to our northwest, moving into Canada here. And so it does appear that not only the strongest storms will stay to our northwest, but also the heaviest rainfall. We have a flood watch that has been issued for much of northern New England, just missing us here to the south. So the heaviest rain could amount to 4 to 6 inches, and some of the heaviest downpours for northern New England. Here locally, there will likely be a few downpours that hold together as they approach us, but they'll be more isolated in nature. And so I do think there'll be a few hit or miss spots where we could see near 2 inches of rainfall for this evening and heading into tomorrow. It's something we'll be watching in a scattered form heading into Friday as well. Our humidity, that's something you've been feeling for days now. It's actually higher today with some of the moisture from Beryl passing by. We have dew points in the mid 70s. We're holding on to that through tomorrow, and then it slowly starts to descend here as we approach the weekend, but still overall very muggy even as we head into next week. So no big relief in sight, unfortunately, and our temperatures are heating up quickly. 90 in Norwood, 86 in Boston, and that's despite some hazy clouds that are in place. Our feel-like temperature, heat index, approaching the upper 90s to even 100. Manchester at 99 with our heat index. It feels like 106 degrees in Norwood. So we have a heat advisory still in effect, and it does cover more of our area now as we're seeing more of these 90s in place this afternoon, even extending into southern New Hampshire and southern Maine. The only exception to that is the South Coast, Cape and Islands, as the gusty south wind in place producing this heat for us inland will actually keep things cooler down there as it's a flow off of the ocean. 12-hour forecast in Boston showing some clouds mixing through. It's not a perfectly blue sky kind of a day, but the storm chance looking relatively low over the next 12 hours. That's because as we move through our timeline here, you can see most of the action is staying well west of Boston, perhaps moving into western Massachusetts in the early afternoon, and we'll watch for that into the evening, perhaps skirting areas north of Route 2 heading into tonight. But in the overnight hours into tomorrow, that storm threat gets a little closer. Notice we're very warm overnight in the low to mid 70s, and we hold on to that humidity factor. So any scattered storms have that easy potential to produce very heavy downpours, tropical downpours even as we head into tomorrow morning. It's not a widespread washout, but where these cells set up, they will be strong. And we're watching that into the afternoon. Less in the way of storms for our Thursday evening, but there's another round moving in for Friday. And so we have to be on alert right on through Friday afternoon as well. Now, of course, we're looking ahead to the weekend. It's only Wednesday, but it does appear that the wettest day will be Saturday as we're watching a front that's still hanging overhead. That will allow for waves of low pressure to bring rain, likely heaviest in southeastern Massachusetts. If you had to pick a day this weekend, my bet is on Sunday. It does look dry that day, but still very hot. I mean, Antoinette, we're holding on to the 90s well through next week. It's a hot one.
It really is.
Applications, but you have the perfect color.
Oh, yes. You should place your bid.
I won't always match it.
No, it does need a new coat of paint too. Anyway,
yeah.
you're watching kind of an active
Quite a few
pattern here.
things. Yes, so the heat advisory continues. We have a tornado watch just to our west. Goes to show Beryl still has a lot of energy with it. Chance of some spotty storms and downpours here for this afternoon and evening, more so heading into the overnight through tomorrow morning. But the storm chance lingers right on through Saturday, and so does the heat and humidity.
So it really is a rinse, wash,
Yes.
repeat again.
Feels like it.
All right, well, that does it for us here at noon.